Hello, good day everyone. I welcome you all to this day's episode. We're going to be discussing on OSPF on networking. Now, OSPF is one of the dynamic routing protocols we have, which enables us to establish connectivity between different networks. Before I go on, I want to let you all know the sponsor of this program is Loctech Training Institute, and a big shout out to them. Now, for us to start, let's bring out two routers, two PCs, and then two switch. Now let's connect this up. Alright, so choose your preferred cable to do your connectivity. Alright, now this is done. I'll simply put up a label just so that the IP addressing for each interface on the routers will be easy for us to understand. Now I want to use a class C IP address for this tutorial. You can choose to use any class that you prefer. Alright, now that is done, so we can easily understand which IP address is assigned to which interface. Alright, now I'll quickly assign IP addresses to the router's interface. Remember that this is a class C IP address, so you use a subnet mask for a class C IP address. Okay? Now we do the same thing on the other side of this router. Now the same way, I would assign an IP address as well to the right interface on the router. Now we have assigned IP addresses to all the interface on the router. Now the next thing we are going to do is to assign IP addresses to the host devices. Go into the first PC, put in its own IP address, and then put in its default gateway. Now when that is done, the next thing you have to do is to configure your routing protocol to establish connectivity between the various networks. So I'll be starting from the first router. All I have to do is to put in the command router OSPF 100, give it a router ID, then put in the various networks that exist on that router. I'll just call back the last line of command. And with the first router, I'm done. I move to the second one and I'll do the same thing. Give it a different router ID number as 2.2.2.2 and then put in the networks that exist on that router. Call back the last line of command to make it a little bit fast. Now with this, we are done. And from here, we can see that the routers are displaying what we call a router advertisement. The first router is able to be seeing the second router, and the second router is able to see the first router. Alright, now to test connectivity, I'm going to copy the IP address of the first PC here, and I'll go into the next PC, and then I'll do a ping test. As I type ping, the IP address of the PC I want to reach, and I hit enter. And with this, we should get success replies, telling us that our OSPF configuration has been successful. Now, you can see that we have successfully established connectivity between 1.0 network on this side and the 3.0 network on this side. Alright, if you've learned something, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for this day. We'll see you next time.